Time for Roseburg basketball on 541radio.com.
Ball poked away by Lake. He gets it out in front for Colin Warmouth in the dunk.
Welcome to this broadcast of Roseburg Sports, presented by CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score. Now, let's get ready for the game. Here's your pregame show host, Joey Kiran.
Hello and good evening, everybody. Welcome to Eugene, Oregon, and to Sheldon High School, where tonight the Roseburg boys basketball team gets ready to take on the Sheldon Irish as we continue Southwest Conference play. It's a battle of two second-place teams. Roseburg looking for a season sweep of the Irish. That'd be the first time in a long time since that has happened, and we'll find out if they can do it tonight as we bring you Roseburg boys basketball from Eugene here on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score. A very good evening to everybody here on this Friday night from Eugene. I'm Joey Kiran. Happy to be with you here on this evening. Hopefully you're staying warm, staying cozy, and avoiding going outside where things are expected to get a little bit dicey tonight. The Roseburg Indians are hoping this road trip doesn't lead to a dicey night on the floor as they take on the Sheldon Irish. Roseburg had a 56-52 win against the Sheldon Irish the last time the two teams met down in Roseburg. It was the start of Southwest Conference play, and now the two teams will kick off the second half of conference play tonight here in Eugene. For Roseburg, they come in 3-2 in conference play. The Sheldon Irish, they're at 3-2 as well. The Irish have won 3 straight as they've started to pick up their play in conference. Meanwhile, Roseburg lost their last game, a non-conference game against Willamette, but they are coming off of their big upset win over North Medford to finish out that first half of Southwest Conference play. The winner of tonight's matchup will have the edge on second place in the conference standings. A very important matchup coming up for you tonight here on The Score. Want to remind everybody, tonight's game is streaming with video online at 541radio.com. You can follow the action with us there live and free. So tune in for Roseburg basketball online at 541radio.com. You can take it on your smartphone, on your tablet, on your laptop, on your desktop, and even on your big screen TV. We stream on YouTube, so anywhere you can stream YouTube videos, you can stream Roseburg Sports. As we make our way through tonight's pregame show, we'll get a chance to catch up with head coach Mike Parton and talk about tonight's matchup and recap a little bit about the loss to Willamette back on Tuesday. We'll have that for you when we come back. We continue on with the pregame show. This is Roseburg basketball, streaming online at 541radio.com and on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score. Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
Stay tuned for more Roseburg basketball on 541radio.com.
Back here on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score and streaming with video online at 541radio.com. It's time for our pregame coaches interview with head coach Mike Parton as the Roseburg boys get ready to start the second half of the Southwest Conference season. And Coach, talking to you first, like to look back at that last one, Willamette. Nice non-league contest for you guys against a very quality opponent. And for much of that game, it was a pretty tight one, and you guys made a nice run at it in the third quarter, but couldn't quite keep them in check and end up falling in that one, 65-55. But what do you take away from that one that you like? Obviously, you guys kept with a very good team for most of that game.
Yeah, I think the big thing for us is just being patient and taking care of the ball. And when we do that, we put ourselves in good position. And there's just about 3 or 4 minutes they changed defenses on us, and we didn't adjust to it. And they got a couple loose balls and a couple lay-ins on us, and that distance kind of kept the game in that 7 to 6 to 10 points all night long. And so those are key things. We got to keep the game in check, and they are a good team, and tonight we're going to play another good team. So it's evident that we're going to have to play a certain way. We're going to take care of the ball, and they're going to bring some adjustments, and they have really good athletes, and so we're going to have to make some adjustments tonight.
This Sheldon team, I think we talked about it the first time you guys met up with them. It felt like a team that was still trying to kind of figure some things out. They had the late addition of some of their football guys to the basketball team, and maybe you caught them at a right time early on in the season at your place to be able to pick up that early win. But you come into tonight, and this team looks like this Sheldon team's playing a lot better than they were maybe a couple of weeks ago when you guys faced them down there at Roseburg.
They're just athletic. They got really good athletes. They got guys that are big, strong, fast, and the night we played them, I don't think they shot it as well as they would like. Obviously, teams usually shoot better when they're at home. So, yeah, it's going to be a big challenge for us.
Obviously, I imagine you watch that game tape and you look at things that you expect to maybe need to do better here tonight, and maybe things that they try to make adjustments and you try to counter that. What kind of changes this time around do you expect to see between these two teams?
Well, I don't know. I always think that a team that is athletic, they could bring a box and one and really cause us some problems. And they can definitely go high-low on us, which will also cause some problems. So those are two things that I think we did a pretty good job keeping away from. And I think if we're going to win tonight, we got to be able to make those adjustments and see what they try to do, because they're obviously going to make those adjustments. And like I said, the athletes that they have are very good.
We saw in the last one, you guys, your big men that you've got, Caden Seeley and Carson, did a nice job against these guys. I was really impressed with the way that Caden Seeley played against Patrick Herbert. Both end up fouling out, but I thought he did a really nice job defensively. How big is the play of guys like Caden and Xavier and Carson going to be here tonight for you guys?
Well, I think the key for us is everybody's got to play well, right? You don't win games on the road if only one or two guys play well. So we got to do that at both ends of the court, and we got to make plays. And I'm a big believer that players make plays. It's not coaches. We can put guys in position to make plays, but they got to make them. And so that's the big challenge for us against a very, very athletic Sheldon team.
It's been kind of a weird season this year, obviously, with a lot of kind of ups and downs, things that the teams had to adjust to throughout this season. As you guys get to the final 5 games here with the conference play, you're obviously in a position to try and make the postseason. How are you feeling about things right now going into these final couple of weeks?
Our big deal is just taking one game at a time and trying to win that game. And we got a big one tonight. And, all that other stuff takes care of itself if you take care of that one game at a time. And so that's what we're trying to do. This is going to be a big challenge for us going into the stretch, and we're kind of in a gauntlet right now. We're playing South Eugene on the road, we're playing Sheldon on the road, and Willamette on the road. All 3 really good teams on the road, so it's a challenge for us.
All right, look forward to it tonight as Roseburg takes on Sheldon to begin the second half of the Southwest Conference season. That is head coach Mike Parton here in the pregame show. We'll come back with more and get you ready for tip-off here on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Counting down towards tip-off between Roseburg and Sheldon from Sheldon High School tonight in Eugene. A cold one outside. We're hoping to keep things nice and cozy in here tonight. It's a busy night here at Sheldon High School. Was just commenting to someone off the air about how there's quite a bit of coverage here tonight of this basketball game. Of course, we're here covering the Roseburg Indians on the road in Eugene, but you've also got the Eugene radio station, sports station here covering tonight's game as they cover a lot of the Lane County teams and make their way around the county to cover local basketball. You've got Sheldon's student-run broadcast up in the bleachers above the band broadcasting tonight. And then you've got the local TV station here broadcasting this evening as well. So it is a busy night tonight. A lot of media on hand to catch the Roseburg boys and the Sheldon Irish squaring off tonight in Southwest Conference play. Tonight's matchup is for second place in the Southwest Conference as we take some time to take a look at how things have shaped up through the first half of the conference slate. North Medford leads the way right now at 4-1 in conference play, number 16 in the OSAA power rankings. Roseburg and Sheldon at 3-2 tied for second. Roseburg number 24 in the OSAA rankings, while Sheldon's at number 29. South Eugene has kept their ranking very high, but they are at 2-3 in conference play, sitting in fourth place right now. They are ranked number 11 in the OSAA power rankings. Grants Pass is 2-3 in conference. They're tied with South Eugene as well for fourth place, but Grants Pass is at number 40 in the power rankings right now by the OSAA. And South Medford at the bottom at 1-4 in conference, number 48 according to the OSAA mathematics. So that is a look at how things stand in the Southwest Conference after the first half of conference play. Everybody's got 5 games under their belt, 5 more left to go in this season. Coming up tonight in Southwest Conference games, South Eugene is at South Medford tonight as the Panthers will look to try and pull off another win at home against a conference opponent. Grants Pass is at North Medford tonight. Big showdown there between the Black Tornado and the Cavemen. That is a look at what's coming up tonight in the Southwest Conference. Of course, the Roseburg girls are at home taking on Sheldon tonight. That is a matchup of the first place team versus the last place team there. The Roseburg girls looking for their first win at home, also looking for their first win in conference play. The JV games have gone final, of course, for our matchups here tonight. And the Roseburg boys JV team lost 56-35 against Sheldon. And back at home, the Roseburg girls JV team lost in that matchup. Final score in that one was 66-32. So a couple of losses for the JV teams so far tonight in the matchup between Roseburg and Sheldon. Roseburg's coming off of a 65-55 loss at Willamette on Tuesday. First of 3 straight games in Eugene. Roseburg will be back up here on Tuesday to take on South Eugene as they continue conference play, but continue to make the road trip up to Eugene. Roseburg scored first in that game, but trailed 15-8 after the first quarter. Got back to within 3 points by halftime. Actually took a 1-point lead twice in the third quarter, but then Willamette went on a 13-3 run to go ahead by double digits. Roseburg got it back to within 7 in the fourth quarter, but unfortunately that's as close as they'd get the rest of the way. Willamette shot 50% from the field in that game. Roseburg was at 40%. RHS was 68% from the line. That actually is not a great number for them, about 12% lower than their season average at the free throw stripe. So they'll try to fix some of that. On the other side for Sheldon, their last game was a week ago. They did not play on Tuesday this week. Sheldon beat South Medford 60-45 down in Medford. Sheldon only led 27-23 at halftime, but outscored South Medford 33-22 in the second half to pull away for the victory. Interesting note about Sheldon, they started Southwest Conference play with a pair of losses. One to Roseburg by 4 points, and then they lost to their second game by just 3 points in conference play. But then they've turned it around and won 3 straight games in the Southwest Conference, and those 3 wins have all been by an average of 19.3 points per game. So Southwest Conference play getting a little bit more interesting as Sheldon has started to put things together. They did have a number of football players kind of make a late addition to the team after their run to the state championship game. Guys like Griffin Line and Patrick Herbert, both in the starting lineup tonight. They joined a little bit late after the state championship game. We're getting ready to go for tip-off, and we will have your Supercut starting lineups when we return. This has been the pregame show. Roseburg and Sheldon squaring off in just a few moments when we come back here on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
Getting ready for tip-off between Roseburg and Sheldon as we welcome you in to tonight's broadcast of Roseburg Boys Basketball on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score. Big matchup tonight for second place in the Southwest Conference, and we look forward to bringing you tonight's action. It's time now for the Supercut starting lineups in the Steelhead Run Plaza across from Starbucks on Garden Valley Boulevard. Save time and check out styles online at supercuts.com. For Roseburg, it's a familiar starting 5. Jet Black, the junior guard, gets the start along with 4 seniors. Caden Seeley, a guard, averaging 5.3 points per game. Colin Warmith, the two-time first-team all-conference selection, averaging a conference best 26.6 points per game. For Howie Lake, a senior guard. And rounding things out, Carson Ellis, the senior forward, will start tonight for Roseburg. Roseburg again tonight without Jonathan Stone, the big man, out with the knee injury, missing his second game after coming back for a brief stint after missing 6 games with a knee injury earlier on. As for the home team tonight, the Sheldon Irish, led by head coach Daniel Clark. They'll send out senior at 6'2", a guard, Jackson Tucker. Joining him will be a senior forward at 6'9", Dominic McGarvey, an honorable mention all-conference selection from last year. Griffin Line, a 6'2" junior wing, will start at 6'6", a post senior. Patrick Herbert, a first-team all-conference selection. And Dawson Prickle, the junior wing at 6'1", rounding out your starting 5 for the Sheldon Irish. And that is a look at tonight's Supercut starting lineups in the Steelhead Run Plaza across from Starbucks on Garden Valley Boulevard. Save time and check out styles online at supercuts.com. All right, we'll get ready for tip-off. And there we go. Roseburg will win the tip, and they'll move left to right on your radio dial. Out at the top, it's Carson Ellis with it. To the far side to Caden Seeley. They'll work down in the blocks as Roseburg looks to try and score early to start things out. To the near side at the wing, it's Merhowie Lake. Roseburg wearing their road blacks here tonight with the orange trim. Roseburg across the chest in the bright orange. Dribbling to the left side, Caden Seeley hands it off to Colin Warmoth. Roseburg going to probably look to employ a very patient style tonight. Out at the top, Ellis. Pass it to the left side to Lake, drives baseline. Got cut off into the middle to Ellis. He turns around. He had McGarvey in front of him. He had his shot blocked, but Roseburg will get it back. A turnaround jumper from Warmoth. It's 2, and Colin Warmoth will put Roseburg in front after Carson Ellis had his shot blocked. Down to the other side of the floor we go. Out at the top, Herbert with it. They'll go into the middle to McGarvey. Turnaround fadeaway jumper is strong, and Seeley comes down with the rebound. McGarvey misses on his first attempt. He had 9 in the game previously against South Medford, but his last game against Roseburg, he had 11. The big man down low. The big man did a lot of the damage for Sheldon last time these two teams met. Seeley out to the top to Ellis. He'll look to the left side. Gets it to Warmoth at the wing. Griffin line marking Colin. He's going to drive left side. Got bumped, lost the basketball, out of bounds. It'll stay with Roseburg. 2-0 your score, 6:28 to go here in the first quarter between Roseburg and Sheldon. Roseburg at 13-7 on the season, Sheldon at 10-10. Inbound from the baseline out to Seeley out at the top. McGarvey out from underneath the basket, guarding him, and they go underneath. And Carson Ellis with a quick turnaround, 2, makes it 4-0. Roseburg in front early on against Sheldon. Bringing the ball up the floor on the far side, Jackson Tucker comes to the left side, gets it to Dawson Prickle at the top, pauses, tries to feed it underneath to Herbert, and he just threw it right to Caden Seeley, who tips it to Colin Warmoth. Roseburg comes away with the steal. Driving to the baseline, Caden Seeley reverts back out. He'll keep his dribble, calling for Warmoth to revert, and Colin will go down into the corner. Seeley out at the top, starts the offense in the corner. They work it down to Jet in the post, and Jet Black will get some work down low. Don't see that too often. Jet, a turnaround bank shot, and it's 6-0 Roseburg early on. Roseburg taking the 6-point lead, holding Sheldon scoreless so far. McGarvey going to try and answer that, and the big man will. Hits a 3 from straight away, and he cuts the lead in half. 6-3 the score. Roseburg in front, 5.5 to go in the first quarter. Warmoth out at the top. Crossover goes left into the corner to Jet. Head fake, drives in, skips it into the corner to Seeley on the near side. Dribbles it back out to the top. He'll reset. Sheldon in their home whites, Irish across the chest in the emerald green. Bounce pass to the top to Ellis. Looks for the cutter into the corner. Warmoth a 3, back iron no good. Just a little bit long for Colin on his first 3 attempt. First miss for Roseburg in a while. Up the floor quickly, and from the right side, Dawson Prickle will get the lay-in, and he cuts it to a 1-point game. Roseburg up 6-5. Under 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Warmoth brings it across the timeline. Passes the near side to Seeley, and they'll work it to Black in the corner. Backdoor cutter was Colin, but the pass slipped through his hands. He tries to force it up between 2 defenders. Wanted a call, doesn't get it, and the ball is poked away all the way. Prickle to the rim. He drops it through. Dawson Prickle goes coast to coast twice, and he puts Sheldon in front, their first lead of the night at 7-6. It's a 7-0 run by the Irish after Roseburg had a 6-0 run to start. Lake has it out at the top. Ellis will get it. Patrick Herbert marking him. They keep trying to bring the big men out from underneath the basket. Now Ellis will get it in the middle, tries to work around Patrick Herbert, and it's just too much there for Ellis to get around. His shot off the mark, up the floor quickly, and a one-handed dunk right in the middle. It's Dominic McGarvey. He had to collect the basketball, bobbled it, kind of tipped it to himself, and he is at 6'9", easily gets up there for the dunk. Now Colin Warmoth drives in the middle, lost his footing, had to pass it away, and he gets it to Seeley for a corner 3. Works out, although it looked like Colin had a good look to get to the basket. The 3 instead will tie it up at 9 apiece. 3:42 to go first quarter. Tucker underneath, dribbling all the way underneath, gets it to Herbert, pushed in the back, and a late whistle. That's going to go against Caden Seeley. It's been a pretty clean start to this ball game, and that'll be the first team foul. It's the first against Seeley, and they're going to say it was a shooting foul. Patrick Herbert will head to the free throw line. First team foul against Roseburg. Tonight's basketball game brought to you by Bimart. Score big at Bimart where you can get ready for your season for less. First one drops through for Herbert. He'll have a second one coming up. First point of the night for him. Merhowie Lake comes out of the game. D'Angelo Adams will check in. Roseburg basketball also brought to you by our friends at Cascade Community Credit Union. Belong to Douglas County. Second free throw doesn't go, and it's tipped out of bounds. It'll go to Roseburg. 1-point lead once again for the Irish, matching their largest of the night. Caden Seeley will bring it up the floor for Roseburg. 3:32 to go in the first quarter. Right side at the wing. They go quickly underneath. Seeley pushed off the block by Herbert. Whips it into the corner to Warmouth, who gets slapped across the wrist for a foul. It'll be on the baseline for Roseburg. Foul goes against Jackson Tucker, his first. Roseburg will inbound from the baseline. Jeb Black sending it in. He'll go out to the top to D'Angelo Adams. To the near side to Warmouth. He's going to try the long three. It's just a bit short off the front iron. Down with the rebound. Prickle up the floor. Had it poked away by Warmouth, but he can't get back to the basketball, and it'll stay with the Irish. Warmouth got his quick hands in there, tipped it away, but he had a lot of people coming his direction. Couldn't get his feet underneath him to get back to the basketball, and it trickles out on the far side of the floor. Sheldon will have it from the corner. And inbounding will be Tucker. Looking for somewhere to go with it. Lobs it into the middle. Ball tipped up by Herbert, and it's taken away by Seeley. Roseburg with the steal. Up the floor, they trail by 1. 10-9 in the corner. Jet out to the top to Warmouth. Lob it into the corner for Adams. Adams will dribble it back out to the top. Under 3 minutes to go, first quarter. 10-9. Sheldon leading by 1. They've led by 1 twice in the ballgame so far. Head fake by Warmouth. Tries to drive. They cut him off. Give it to Ellis for a 3. It's off the front iron. No good. Nobody there for the rebound. It'll come down to Sheldon. They'll slow it down as bringing it up the floor. Griffin Line will walk it across the midcourt stripe. Coming to get it. Tucker takes it at the top. Marked by Adams. Crossover dribble into the lane. He goes right to the rim. Too strong with the lay-in. On the weak side, D'Angelo Adams picks up the rebound. Warmouth will bring it up as he looks to the bench to get the signal from Coach Pardon. 2:25 to go first quarter, and a timeout on the floor. We'll take it as well. 30-second break by Roseburg. It's a 10-9 score, 1-point game in favor of the Irish here on 1490 The Score. One-point game. Sheldon in front of Roseburg. 2:23 to go in the first quarter. Tonight's game brought to you by DC Farmers Co-op, where everyone's welcome to shop. Jeb Black will inbound it on the near sideline for Roseburg out of the timeout by the Indians. We'll mark that off for all of you watching online at 541radio.com. 2:15 to go here in the first quarter. Adams gets it out at the left side of the key. Straight away now is Ellis. Looking underneath, he gets it to Adams. He tries to feed it underneath. It gets to Warmouth. No shot. It'll be an inbound from the baseline as Warmouth gets pushed, trying to get to the basketball down in the block. They call that foul against Griffin Line. That'll be the second against the Irish in this one. Fouls were a trouble for Sheldon last time. Roseburg shot 29 free throws against Sheldon last time the two teams met. Patrick Herbert fouled out in that game. So did Caden Seeley as they battled down in the blocks. Roseburg has it. Warmouth out at the top with it. Goes to the free throw line to Ellis. Out to Jet. Now back out to Ellis. McGarvey will come out to guard him. Pass away left side to Warmouth. Marked by Line. Man-to-man defense here for Sheldon so far. Seeley comes to get it on the near side. Back to Ellis, who comes back out to the top. Bounce it away. Roseburg trying to be patient here, but they got to keep moving with the offense. Make sure guys are cutting left and right. Out at the high post, Ellis gets it, steps back behind the perimeter, calls for Warmouth to get it. Around a screen, Collin tries to square up on a 3. It's off the mark. Rebound comes down to Sheldon. 0 for 3 from behind the arc so far for Collin. Now a 3 on the other side. Rims out, fight for it underneath, and Line will come up with it. That shot off the mark for Bryce Seghetti, who has come into the game. Now also into the game is Ben Gittins. He's in the corner, gets the ball back, looking to go underneath to McGarvey. McGarvey, he tried to pass it back out from underneath, and the pass was tipped away and taken by Roseburg. You also have Aiden Wagers, who has checked into the game. Patrick Herbert has taken a seat. Jackson Tucker has taken a seat. And I believe, no, Griffin Line is still out there. Dawson Prickle also on the bench. Turnaround fadeaway jumper. Carson Ellis over the big man underneath. McGarvey can't reach to it, and he'll put Roseburg back in front. 11-10 here with 35 seconds to go first quarter. Holding out at the top, it's Gittins. Going to wear down for the final shot. He'll hand it off to Line, who will come back out to the top to set up the offense. Aiden Wagers out there high atop the half court as well for Sheldon. 19 seconds now. They'll hand it back off to Gittins as Sheldon continues to wear down the clock looking for the final shot. They trail by 1. Line out behind the three-point line, picks up his dribble, gets it now underneath the McGarvey bump. Turnaround jumper, no good. A push, and it's before the shot. Roseburg going to get called for the foul, and I think they go on, give it to Carson Ellis. For Carson, that's his first through 1 quarter of play. Not too bad for Carson, working against the big man, Dominic McGarvey, who will take a quick seat here in the final 5.6 seconds to go of the first quarter. Inbound from the baseline for Sheldon with 5.6 to go. Out to the top. Cameron Owen going to step into a 3. It's off the mark. Rebound tipped around. Roseburg comes up with it, and that'll end the first quarter. Roseburg leads 11-10 on top of Sheldon after 1 quarter of play. We'll come back with the second quarter after this 60-second break on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
It'll be Sheldon basketball to start the second quarter. Roseburg leads 11-10 after 1 quarter of play. Out at the top with it is Bryce Seghetti. He'll pull on a 3, and Seghetti, who had 13 points against Roseburg the last time the two teams met, he hits his first point of the night, and he gives Sheldon its largest lead of the game at 2. 13-, they call it a long 2 maybe? So it's 12-11 on the scoreboard right now. We'll see if they change that. It looks like it might have just been a 2. 12-11, so matching the largest lead of the game at 1 for Sheldon, leading 12-11. Looked like a 3, must have had just a toe on the line. In the corner, Colin Warmouth with it, feeds it back underneath to Seeley, out to Merhowie Lake for a 3, and Merhowie will bury the 3, his first shot of the night, and Roseburg back in front, now by 2, 14-12. Other end of the floor, 1 minute away here in the second quarter. Getting it, Jacob Frey will dribble, passes it back off, a 3, line drive shot. This time the 3 is good. It's Ben Gittins, and his 3 will put Sheldon back in front by 1, 15-14. Trading the lead back and forth here to start out the second quarter. 6:45 to go before the half. Seeley had an open look at a 3 left side, doesn't take it, hands it off to Lake, looks underneath, not there. Xavier Avilés has checked into the game for Roseburg. First action for him tonight. Warmouth looking underneath, going to drive himself, got bumped, goes airborne, his shot dances on the rim before it finally drops through. Back to a 1-point lead for Roseburg, 16-15, 6:22 to go before the half. Underneath the Wagers, working against Avilés, spin move no good. Avilés rips down the rebound, he had it poked away, he comes up with it, he's got Irish's players all over him, they finally get it back underneath, ball tipped out. It'll go to Gittins. Out at the top, crossover by Owen. Back out for Frey, a 3. He got it. Jacob Frey will get the 3 to go. And Sheldon has their largest lead at 2 now, 18-16. Great fight underneath by Xavier Avilés, but he had 4 Sheldon players reaching at the ball, and he just couldn't keep a handle on it. Avilés has it now at the free throw line on the offensive side of the floor for Roseburg. Warmouth gets it out at the top. Trying to drive against Jacob Frey, who's staying in front of him. He gets it back, though, had a little bit of space, launches the 3. It rims out. Avilés gets another rebound. It has it poked away from him. Up the floor comes Sheldon. On the left side, it's Wagers that lays it in. And it's a 5-point run by Sheldon to get him out to a 20-16 lead. 4-point margin, their largest of the night. Merhowie Lake hands it off to Seeley on the right side. Jet Black will wait to check in. Ball tipped and out of bounds off of Roseburg. Patrick Herbert and Jet Black will come back into the game. Hayden Wagers will take a seat for the Irish. Caden Seeley heads to the bench for Roseburg. 20-16 your score, 5:12 to go, first half. Roseburg trying to stay in this one, not allow Sheldon to go on a run. They try to go down into the blocks to Herbert, working against Aviles. He'll pass it away. Lob to the rim is off by Gittins, and Roseburg comes up with the defensive board. Across the timeline to the left side to Lake, back to Warmouth. He is 0 for 4 from behind the arc. Need to see him get things going for Roseburg here in this second quarter. Down by 4. Jet's going to try a long 3, and it rims off. First attempt from behind the arc for Jet, and it misses. Up the floor quickly. A right side 3 goes through. Cameron Owen hits. And now it is an 8-0 run by Sheldon, and they have a 23-16 lead with 4:28 to go in the second quarter. We'll take a quick 30-second break and come back with more of this second quarter for you here on 1490 The Score.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
Out of the Roseburg timeout, the Indians looking to cool down the Irish. They've gone on a run, 8-0 here to pull ahead 23-16. Warmouth with it, pass into the corner. Back out to the top to Jet. They get it back to Warmouth left side. Tries to drive, gets cut off. Wants to feed it in the corner to D'Angelo Adams, and the ball goes right through Adams' hands and out of bounds. He was cutting to the basket. Warmouth tried to pass it to him in the corner and just miscommunication there. A turnover by Roseburg, and a run by Sheldon has a chance to continue here. 4:08 to play in the first half. Out at the top, Owen will hand it off. Second unit for Sheldon provided a run here. They go to Herbert, left block. Carson Ellis has come back in for Roseburg. Tucker drives in, makes the dump underneath, and the basket's good for Jacob Frey. Got the defense up in the air, and his patience pays off. Now a 9-point lead for Sheldon as they're on a 10-0 run. 25-16 your score. Jet has it. Dribbles right side to Warmouth on the wing. Wants the give and go. It wasn't quite there. Warmouth will get it at the top. Crossover dribble between the legs. To the left side to Adams. Passes. Goes all the way across the floor to Jet. Was intended for Collin. And now Collin's going to draw a foul against the defense from Sheldon. I believe that goes against Jacob Frey, which would be his first. It'll be the third team foul against the Sheldon Irish here in the first half. Just 2 against Roseburg. Been a fairly clean first half so far. That timeout for those watching online was the previous timeout by Roseburg. D'Angelo Adams takes a seat. As a drive to the basket, Carson Ellis will stop the run by Sheldon. Gets Roseburg back within 7. They had a 10-0 run to take their largest lead of the game at 9. Enter into Herbert, back out to the top. They'll reset. Owen thought about a deep 3, doesn't take it. Goes near side to Seghetti, bounce it back into Herbert. Back out, a long 3 for Owen. Rims out, rebound down by Seeley. Roseburg has a chance to go on a run. Bring it across the midcourt stripe. They're going with a little bit of pressure out at the top against the ball handler, bringing it across the timeline. Still looking as if a man-to-man, though, here. Lake cutting left side. Wanted a quick turnaround shot from the left side. It was off the mark, and Sheldon quickly comes down with the board. Up the floor we go. Looking underneath. Ellis against Herbert. Herbert turnaround jumper, no good. And Warmouth comes down with the rebound. Herbert too strong with the shot. He's had a quiet night, just 1 point so far. Collin right side. Fakes the handoff to Jet. Now passes the elbow to Ellis, working right side against Herbert. His turnaround shot will go through. Carson Ellis continues to have a strong season here in the second half. And the senior has 8 points in the game, 4 in the first quarter, 4 here in the second. It has Roseburg back within 5, 25-20. Around a screen, into the lane. Tucker gets free, goes right to the rim, and Jackson Tucker gets his first field goal of the night. Back to a 7-point edge for the Irish. Things opened up as he got around the corner, and he went right to the rim. To the left side, Warmouth Out around the perimeter, he's got Tucker on him. Excuse me, that's Jacob Frey. To the right side at the wing, Jet Black with the basketball. A whistle away from the basketball, and they call an offensive foul against Roseburg. They call the foul on Merhowie Lake. And Lake will pick up his first. Coach Pardon yelling to his team from the bench. Instructions on how to handle what they were seeing from Sheldon there. Left side with the basketball. Prickle back into the game, enters it in the middle. Hook shot from Patrick Herbert. And the senior big man gets his first field goal of the night, and it's back to a 9-point lead, 29-20. A minute and a half to go in the first half. Quickly underneath, Colin Warmoth got a look at the bucket, got up there, but did not finish. He'll head to the free throw line. They call that foul against Jacob Frey, picking up his second, 4th-team foul against the Irish, 3 against Roseburg. Checking the scoreboard there. Taking a look at tonight's game. It's been brought to you by Good Vibration Solutions for home theater and automotive audio. You can feel it at Good Vibes. And Roseburg basketball is brought to you by Pepsi and Bigfoot Beverages. Colin Warmoth heads to the free throw line, hits the first. Warmoth, an 87% free throw shooter. Second free throw, he is good. 7-point game, 29-22. Roseburg has kept it under double digits. They've led by as many as 6 in the first quarter, but a run here in the second by Sheldon has put them ahead. Herbert fighting for position underneath. Patrick Herbert, nice turnaround bank shot. 31-22, back to a 9-point game. Roseburg almost had the steal, but Herbert fighting to keep the basketball. Able to make it pay. Left side, Lake gets it down to Seeley. Back out to Warmoth on the 3. Got it finally, his 5th attempt. First of the night for Colin Warmoth. Needed that one. It's a 6-point game, 31-25, 45 seconds to go first half. Roseburg needs a stop. A 2-possession game, you feel pretty good about that going to halftime. At the left elbow, Herbert passes it away. Tucker out at the top, mocked by Warmoth, gets it to Herbert on the baseline. Out to the top, pass stolen away by Roseburg. Still time, 29 seconds. They can be patient, don't have to rush it here. Jet on the right side, his pass tipped up by Frey, and Sheldon will get it back. Up the floor, Tucker dribbling through traffic. Back out to the top to Frey. 19 seconds, make it 13 seconds. Into the corner, back out. 10 seconds to go in the first half. Line with it. To the left side to Frey. Line going to get it in the corner. They want to try and find underneath. It's stolen away by Warmoth. 2, 1 second. He has to go quick. Did he get it? No! You got to be kidding me. They got to count that. That was going through as the horn sounded. Colin Warmoth with a dunk at the buzzer, and they don't count it. So we'll go to halftime. The score 31-25. We got enough cameras here. We could have checked that one. It sure looked like he was putting it through as the buzzer sounded. Halftime break. It's 31-25. Sheldon in front of Roseburg. We'll head to our more well-drilling halftime show after this on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
Welcome in, everybody, to the More Well Drilling Halftime Show, keeping Douglas County green since 1947. That's More Well Drilling. Give them a call at 541-459-4039. At the halftime break, it is 31-25. The Sheldon Irish in front by 6. They led by as many as 9. Roseburg held as big as a 6-point lead in the first half. In that first quarter, they went on a 6-0 run to start the game, but Sheldon fought their way back. The two teams traded the lead back and forth in the first quarter. Roseburg led 11-10 at the end of the first 8 minutes. In the second quarter, though, a 10-0 run by Sheldon put them up 25-16. And Roseburg would get a, 9-6 run to finish out the rest of that second quarter to get themselves back in it. Colin Warmoth had a dunk right at the end of the first half as the buzzer was sounding, but they wave it off, not giving him credit for the bucket. And Roseburg could have gotten back to within 4, but they'll go in at halftime, trailing 31-25. We'll come back with more of your halftime show. Take a look at stats from the first half of tonight's action. Roseburg basketball is brought to you by Mahalo Heating and Cooling, your best choice for the finest indoor comfort control. Call them today at 672-6707. And by our friends at Flyaway Travel. Contact their travel experts for your travel plans. Now located at 1445 West Harvard Avenue. Give them a call at 672-5701. Back with more of your More Well Drilling halftime show after this 2-minute break on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
This is the Morewell Drilling Halftime Show, keeping Douglas County green since 1947. Give them a call at 541-459-4039. At the halftime break, Sheldon leads Roseburg 31-25. Joey Kieran here with you. It's time now to take a look at some of your individual scoring from the first half. We start with the visiting Roseburg boys. Leading the way with 9 points is Colin Warmeth, scores 7 in the second quarter to get to the 9. 4 points in each quarter in the first half for Carson Ellis. He's got 8. For Howie Lake with 3, Caden Seeley with 3, and 2 points for Jet Black here tonight. On the other side for the Sheldon Irish, 2 players with 5 points, Patrick Herbert and Dominic McGarvey, the 2 big men, actually make it 3 players with 5. Jacob Frey with 5 in there as well. 4 points for Dawson Prickle, 3 for Ben Gittens, 2 for Bryce Seghetti, 3 for Cameron Owen, and 2 for Aiden Wagers and for Jackson Tucker. And that is your scoring from the first half. Taking a look at rebounding, leading the way, Colin Warmeth with 5 rebounds in the first half. On the Sheldon side, Patrick Herbert and Bryce Seghetti with a pair of rebounds each to lead the way. For Roseburg, turnovers in this ball game. Looks like 7 total for Roseburg and 5 for Sheldon in the first half. That is a look at our stats from the first half of action here from Sheldon High School, where the band is entertaining us here at the break. Don't forget, folks, stick around for the post-game show where we will name tonight's Abby's Legendary Pizza Player of the Game, so stay tuned for that. And don't forget, tonight's ball game brought to you by Fisher's Hearth and Home, serving Douglas County for over 30 years with the largest selection of wood, gas, pellet, and electric stoves and fireplaces in the area. That is Fisher's Hearth and Home. At the halftime break, Roseburg trails 31-25. That'll pretty much do it for the Morewell Drilling halftime show. When we come back, we will take a look at the second half matchup and figure out what the Roseburg boys have to do to try and get back into this one against the Sheldon Irish. We'll go ahead and take our final break of the halftime show and come back with your second half preview after this here on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Make our way back after the halftime break, getting ready for the third quarter of action between Roseburg and Sheldon. Before we get into play, let's go ahead and pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Roseburg basketball on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score. Well, the second half about to get started. Roseburg trailing 31-25. Almost had it down to a 4-point game after a dunk by Colin Warmeth waved off at the buzzer to end the first half. Roseburg will start with the basketball. They'll be moving right to left on your radio dial. Roseburg wearing their road blacks tonight. Jet Black, Colin Warmeth, Howie Lake, Carson Ellis, and Caden Seeley, your starting 5 to begin the second half of tonight's ball game. That's your original starting 5 for Roseburg. On the other side, Dawson Prickle has the ball poked away by Patrick Herbert. He's going to go for the dunk, and he misses it off the back of the iron, and it's Prickle that gets the rebound, and he misses it. He got hit, surprised at no call, but Patrick Herbert doink on the dunk on the other side. Ball poked out of bounds by Sheldon. It'll stay with Roseburg. So You've got Jackson Tucker, Patrick Herbert, Griffin Line, Dominic McGarvey, and Dawson Prickle out there for Sheldon to start the second half. Actually, a foul called here to start out the second half, and Colin Warmoth is heading to the free throw line. That's the second foul called against Griffin Line. A lot of smiles out there on the floor for the Sheldon Irish after the miss on the dunk. Breakaway dunk opportunity for Patrick Herbert. He's 6'6". He's a big man. He can easily throw down. Not sure what happened on that one there, but it works in Roseburg's favor. Colin Warmoth hit both of the free throws. And so Roseburg will start out with the first points of the second half. 30 seconds in, and they're back to within 4 points. Crossover at the top by Tucker. He'll pass it away. Prickle driving to the lane. Kick into the corner for McGarvey. Back out to the top. Sheldon now moving left to right. They look underneath to Herbert. Defense collapse. They go to the passer. Cutting through the middle. It was Dominic McGarvey. Patrick with great vision there sees the open man as the double team, triple team came for Roseburg, and he finds it. McGarvey makes it 33-27. Out to the top. Ellis with the basketball. Warmoth comes to get it at the top, marked by Griffin Line. Dribbling to the right side, Warmoth, one-handed pass to Jet. Jet picks it up, looks left side. Ellis has it. Dribbles to the right. Ball tipped out of bounds by Griffin Line into the Roseburg bench. They'll inbound from that sideline. 6:42 to go in the third quarter. Jet inbounds it out to the top to Caden Seeley. Dribbling to his left side, 6:38 to go and counting. Hands it off to Lake. Working against the man-to-man defense. Ellis gets it at the free throw line, marked by Herbert. He's going to try and take it himself. Ball smacked away by Patrick, and it goes to Sheldon. Up the floor, McGarvey, he's got a long two, and his shot swatted out of bounds by Colin Warmoth. Timed it perfectly to knock it out of bounds. 6-point game, 33-27. Looking to lob it in. McGarvey trying to cut to the rim. The big man couldn't get free for the lob, so they'll instead go to the top. Line passes it to Prickle in the corner. Back out to the top to Tucker, to Line on the right side. He'll drive in, goes with a floater, got contact, won't get the bucket, but headed to the free throw line should be Griffin Line. Call the foul on Jet Black. Roseburg didn't really have anybody in foul trouble in the first half. Sheldon, not really anybody in trouble. Checking in on the Roseburg girls game, it's 42-11 at halftime. Sheldon in front of Roseburg. Kind of had a feeling that one could maybe get a little out of hand. Sheldon, a very talented team. Griffin Line hits the first of the two free throws and makes the second. 35-27, 8-point game. Sheldon has led by as many as 9. Crossover at the top. Warmoth lost Line for a moment, but couldn't quite get free. He'll pass it away to Jet on the far side. They enter it in. Ball nearly taken away by Sheldon. Ellis has it. He's going to back his way in. Almost stolen away from him again. Hook shot no good. Seeley comes down with the rebound. Rips it away from McGarvey. And Roseburg will have another look at it. Out at the top, Jet dribbles away. Almost lost his defenders. Ellis sets up the screen. Jet pulls up for the long two. Jet Black around the screen. Nice spot-up jumper. Back to a 6-point game, 35-29. Prickle bounces it down to Herbert, and a foul away from the basketball. And they call it on Caden Seeley. Didn't really think there was much pushing and shoving down in the blocks. But they say that Seeley was called for pushing against Patrick Herbert, and the entry pass from McGarvey trying to get it to Herbert. Herbert went left, the pass went right, and Seeley was right there to intercept it. Caden brings it up the floor, 5:13 to go in the third quarter. Roseburg trying to cut it down to its closest margin since the first half. They are down by 6 right now. Jet has it right side. Get it to Warmoth in the corner. He has not scored in the second half. Dribbles back out to the top. Nearing the midway point of the third quarter. Colin trying to dribble. He'll spot up for the three. He rolls it over the front of the iron, and Colin hits his second from long distance. And Roseburg's back within 3. 35-32 with 4:45 to go. Third quarter. Out at the top, Prickle gets it. Racing down that right side of the line. Gets it to Tucker. His floater in the lane. The runner will go. Jackson Tucker got free on the screen, and he drops it in on the teardrop. 4:33 to go. 37-32. Seeley will have it out at the top, running the offense, marked up by Dominic McGarvey. Almost lost the dribble. to the left side. Jet gets it in the corner, trying to work it down to Warmoth underneath. Turnaround jumper from the baseline. That sat on the top of the backboard and almost, I thought it might have a chance to drop through the hoop, but then the official, Roseburg's bench wants to say a shot was blocked and then hit the top of the backboard and hit the support beams to go out of bounds. The officials won't give him the call, so it's just a missed shot by Warmoth and a rebound to Sheldon, and they'll make him pay on the other side. Griffin Line hits a three to stretch it back to an 8-point game, 40-32, 3:58 to go. Looking for the backdoor cutter. Collin was open for a minute, not there though for Jet. Reset at the top. Merhowie gets it to Jet on the near side. Black dribbles to the right, around a screen, goes back out to the top to Ellis. Ellis has two men on him and reaching in. Jackson Tucker going to get called for the foul. Neither team made it to the bonus in the first half. Second team foul against Sheldon here in the second half, and they call that the second foul against Jackson Tucker. Giangelo Adams comes into the game for Roseburg. And into the game for Sheldon, Bryce Seghetti going to come in, so does Aiden Wagers. Inbound for Collin in the front court. 40-32 your score, 3:35 to go, third quarter. Left side, catch and shoot three for Warmoth. He's heating up from behind the arc, his third of the game, third straight. Warmoth makes it a 5-point game, 40-35. Wagers pass to the left side to Line at the top. He's going to dribble. He loses the basketball. Adams almost got the steal, able to keep it. At Line goes in the corner to Wagers, into the middle to Herbert. He tucks the shoulder down, goes right to the backboard, and he touches it off the glass for two. 7-point game, 42-35, 3 minutes to play, third quarter. Collin out at the top, draws a lot of attention. They go underneath to Ellis, double team. His shot blocked by Herbert, goes out to Jet. He catches at the free throw line, and Jet will put it through. Offensive rebound for Roseburg. Up the floor in transition, Collin into the cheerleaders on the near sideline. Racing in front of that pass to tip it out of bounds. Sheldon will inbound on the near sideline. 42-37, 2:45. Roseburg not letting Sheldon run away with this one. Inbound to the top. It goes to Gittens. Gittens had 5 points in the game against South Medford last time out for Sheldon. In the corner, a three by Wagers, no good. Rebound tipped out. Wagers coming our direction, and he saves it back in. It goes to Jet Black. Jet going right to the rim, throws it off the backboard, no good. Had a man right on him, tried to just take it and see if he could make him pay. On the other side, Gittens. The scoop shot is good for Ben Gittens. He's got 5 in this one. 44-37, 7-point game. Roseburg's had their chances to cut into the deficit, have not been able to do it. They've gotten it down to that 4-point margin, but that's about it. Actually, it was down to a 3-point game. That's as close as they've gotten here in the third quarter. Jet has it far side. In the corner, in front of his own bench. He passes it out to Warmoth. Drives to the free throw line. Contact, the bucket, and he's headed to the line. Collin Warmoth, 2 there, makes it a 5-point game. He's going to try to bring it down to 4 with 1:53 to go in the third quarter. Xavier Avilés will check in for Carson Ellis. Roseburg trying to make a late run here in this third quarter to cut it down and see if they can keep it close in the second half. Warmoth's free throw bounces off. First miss of the night for him. 5-point game. Gittens brings it up the floor for the Irish across the timeline. 1:44 to go. Herbert has it out at the top. The U of O commit in football. Passes underneath. Back out, far side three. A little long. Rebound. And they call it a hold on the rebound by Aiden Wagers on Xavier Avilés. And so Roseburg will get it back. After the three from the far side, I think that was Jacob Frey on the three missing. Roseburg will come down with it. Collin will get the basketball, 1:33 to play in this third quarter. Collin's going to launch it from 3 feet behind the arc. He's gotten 3 threes here in the third quarter, and he's made it a 2-point game, 44-42. Collin having a big third, keeping Roseburg in this one. Answering on the other side, Gittens' three is long. Rebound, though, comes down to Herbert. He gets it back to Gittens. Sheldon will reset ticking down to the 60-second mark here in the third quarter. Near side, Szigeti to Wagers in the corner. Drives once, passes underneath to Herbert. Back out to the top for Gittens. To Wagers. Back underneath to Herbert. Pushed off the block by Aviles. He'll have to pass it away. Far side, open look at a three by Wagers. He got it. A big three by Aiden Wagers stretches it back to a 5-point game. He answers the three by Colin Warmoth. 45.7 seconds to go in the third quarter. And Sheldon will take their timeout. We'll take a quick 30-second break. Be back with the conclusion of the third period after this on 14-9 The Score. Back here in the third quarter. Back after the timeout by Sheldon. Roseburg possession. Colin went to the rim, missed. Adams got the offensive rebound and putback attempt. He was off the mark, but Adams will head to the free throw line. He's a little short on the front end. Roseburg trailing 47-42. Been a battle here in the third quarter. Tonight's game has been brought to you by Bimart. Score big at Bimart, where you can get ready for your season for less. Adams will hit 1 out of 2 at the line. Gets Roseburg back within 4. 24 seconds to play in the third quarter. To the far side of the floor with it, Jacob Frey looking underneath, trying to get it to McGarvey, who has come in for Patrick Herbert. Roseburg with a 2-3 zone here. Man defense. Look like a 2-3 zone. Out at the top, Gittens around a screen. 5 seconds to go. Szigeti launches a three. It rims out. 2 seconds. Aviles will collect it, and that'll end the third quarter. 47-43, a 4-point game. Roseburg cutting into the deficit. 1 quarter left to play. We'll come back after this 60-second break here on 1490 The Score.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
Stay tuned for more Roseburg basketball on 541radio.com.
Back for the fourth quarter, Roseburg trailing Sheldon of 47-43. The Irish start with the basketball. And they will get a corner three, and Aviles comes down with a big rebound to keep it for Roseburg. They'll go up the floor. Colin Warmoth, far side, one-on-one against McGarvey. His shot was no good. And Sheldon comes down with the rebound. Roseburg had a chance to cut it down to a 2-point game. Couldn't do it. Gittens with it out at the top. Gittens, McGarvey, Wagers, Frey, and Szigeti on the floor for Sheldon. It's going to be Frey on a three. His three no good. Fight for it underneath, and Aviles and a big three, or a big rebound, and then a foul. Foul on the floor. I'm wondering who they called the foul on. They called the foul, I think, on Aiden Wagers. His second. That's the 6th foul against Sheldon, and only 2 against Roseburg. Roseburg will have the basketball. Big rebound there by Xavier Avilés. Roseburg brings the ball up the floor, trailing 47-43. 1 minute away in the final period tonight here from Eugene. Warmoth right side, heated up in the third quarter. Driving baseline, he's pushed across the baseline, and it should be 1-1. Heading to the free throw line will go be Colin Warmoth, trying to cut into the deficit. So into the bonus now for Roseburg. That bodes well for them. Only 2 fouls against the Indians so far, so they have fouls to give. Colin will head to the stripe. Tonight's game brought to you by Cascade Community Credit Union, belong to Douglas County, and by our friends at Chuck's Warmoth Family Auto Repair. Are you ready to go where life takes you? First one for Warmoth falls through. They'll get a second. 3-point game. 7 minutes exactly on the clock. Warmoth's second free throw falls off the iron. No good. 1 of 2 from the line. 7 minutes to go. Roseburg within 3. Far side with it. Head ball over his head. Jacob Frey will pass it away. Out at the top, Ben Gittins directing traffic, goes into the middle of the McGarvey, makes the behind the defender pass. It goes to Wagers. His hook shot no good. McGarvey with the rebound. His putback no good. Wagers will get it, and he had it stripped out of his hands, and a whistle blows. They put that foul on Colin, his first, 3rd foul against the Indians here in the second half. Out of the game comes Bryce Seghetti. Cameron Owen will check in for the Irish. Inbound goes into the far corner for Jacob Frey. Brings it back out to the top. 3-point game, 47-44. Roseburg trailing against the Irish, stepping into a 3. Looks on target. It is. Ben Gittins was left open, and he makes Roseburg pay. Back out to a 6-point lead, 50-44. Warmoth right side. To the free throw line to Avilés. Bounces it back out to the top. Jet tries to save it back in, but he can as he just on the near sideline. Turnover by Roseburg. Avilés and Adams will take a seat. Merhowie Lake and Carson Ellis back in. Starting 5 on the floor for Roseburg. Griffin Line checks back in for Sheldon. He'll drive right side of the lane, goes with the scoop shot, and Line will get his 7th point of the night. 7th point, and he has got him back out to an 8-point lead. Driving right side, blocking foul called against Griffin Line. He slaps his hands as he's laying with his back on the floor. He wanted the charge, doesn't get it. And Colin's going to head to the free throw line as Roseburg will try to chip away at the lead from the stripe. Roseburg got it down to a 3-point game at 47-44 with 7 minutes to go. Since then, it has been a run by Sheldon. 5-0 run. And Colin, spot that he's normally fairly consistent at, he's missed 3 free throws tonight. It's been his moneymaker here at Roseburg High School. And he misses them both. Stays his 8-point game, 52-44. Line at the free throw line. Got cut off by Ellis, who kind of gave him a shove as he passed it away. Gittins will come and get it at the top, yelling out the directions for Daniel Clark and the Sheldon Irish. Clark, the head coach here, leading the way for the Irish, looking to try and take over sole possession of second place in the Southwest Conference. Out at the top, driving in, Owen gets it back off to McGarvey, back out to the top. Gittins will direct traffic, pass it left side to McGarvey. Behind the arc, he'll pass it away. Gets it back in the corner. You've got Herbert back into the game, so both big men out there. Try to get it back underneath to Herbert. Kick back out, driving in, Line, double clutch, shot rolls off the left side of the iron. Fight for it, last touch by Roseburg. Jet Black had 2 Sheldon Irish defenders, Griffin Line and Dominic McGarvey, all over him as he tried to pull down that rebound. Everybody ended up on the floor, and Jet was the last one to touch it as the ball goes across the baseline. Inbound for Sheldon. Warmouth marking the inbounder. Pass was tipped up. It'll be Herbert that's able to pick it out of the air, and Sheldon will keep the possession. 4:45 to go in the final period. Counting down, Roseburg down by 8. Far side with it, Gittins into the corner for McGarvey. Thinking about trying to send it underneath to Herbert. And Caden Seeley doing a nice job making him think twice about it. Herbert will get it on the baseline, double team, out to the top. Owen thought about the 3. Instead, he passes it underneath, and it's tipped away by Roseburg. Seeley will get it. He'll bring it up the floor. Far side, underneath Ellis. He got pushed off the blocks by Herbert. He'll reset back out to the top of Jet. 4:15 to go here in this fourth quarter. Seeley to Warmouth. Looking for the backdoor cutter. It's there, and Lake will get free. Cutting from the weak side of the defense. He gets underneath, and he's able to get 2. Roseburg within 6. Under 4 minutes to go here in the final quarter. Line has it, right side of the arc. Backs it back out. Yo-yo dribble, working against Jet Black to McGarvey in the corner. Back out to the top. He'll step back for the 3. Short, rebound. Jet will snag it out of the air. McGarvey, just his second attempt from long distance, misses. He's 1 for 2. Lake has it in the corner. Back out, Ellis going to try the 3. Oh, that was halfway down before it comes out. It looked right on target. It just didn't want to go down. Up the floor, McGarvey gets just attacked as he tried to slowly go with the Euro step down the middle of the lane. Coming from behind, Colin Warmouth gets airborne to attack him. Another guy right there on top of him as well. McGarvey heads to the free throw line to shoot 2. The foul goes against Carson Ellis, his second, and he's rubbing his knee as if he maybe got dinged up a bit on that one. McGarvey misses the free throw. Stays a 6-point game. Roseburg basketball is brought to you by Good Vibration Solutions for home theater and automotive audio. You can feel it at Good Vibes. 3:23 to go in this ball game. McGarvey's second free throw is good. 7-point game, 53-46. Sheldon in front with 3:20 to play. Warmouth with it to the near side to Lake. At the wing for Jet. Backdoor cutter not there. He'll dribble back out to the top. Goes back to the left side, hands it off to Warmouth. Warmouth behind the back dribble. Back out to the top. Working against Griffin Line. Line fights through a screen from Ellis. Ellis out at the top. Head fake. Going to go right to the rim. Too strong, but he draws the foul from Patrick Herbert. And that might be the first on Herbert as Ellis down on the ground a bit after banging into the padding behind the basket. He's limping around. He was massaging his left leg just above his knee on the front side there. Kind of still grabbing at it a little bit. Not good if he is dealing with an injury the rest of the way for Roseburg. He has become a pretty good scorer for them, secondary option behind Colin, and they need it. Ellis will roll over the first free throw. They get Roseburg back within 6, trying to make it 5. Roseburg basketball brought to you by Flyaway Travel. Give them a call for your travel plans at 672-5701. Both free throws go for Ellis. And a timeout down on the floor by Roseburg. 60-second break. We'll take it as well. 53-48. Roseburg within 5 here on CBS Sports Radio 1490. The Score.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
2 minutes, 59 seconds to go in this one between Roseburg and Sheldon. Roseburg trying to get their first win in conference on the road, but they trail by 5. Sheldon has the basketball out of the Roseburg timeout. Griffin line, Dawson Prickle, Dominic McGarvey, Patrick Herbert, and one other guy hiding in the corner. That's Jackson Tucker, original starting 5 on the floor for the Irish. Roseburg with their starting 5 out there as well. Tucker dribbles it from the near side corner all the way out to the top on the other side of the floor. Sheldon trying to wear some time off the clock, down to 2:25 to go in the ball game. Griffin line. Out at the top, marked by Jet. He's going to drive left side of the lane, attack, and then he just backs it right back out. Sheldon just wasting time off the clock. Roseburg only 4 fouls, so if they're going to start fouling to try and conserve the clock, they've got some fouls to give. Back out to the top to Griffin line. It's only a 5-point game, so no real need to start fouling just yet. Roseburg looking to find a takeaway, and now a foul will be committed. It'll be the 5th against Roseburg. Not yet to the bonus. Foul goes against Colin Warmouth, his second. 2:03 to go. To inbound will be Prickle. He'll go into the backcourt for Jackson Tucker. 2 minutes to go. 2 minutes left in the ball game. Roseburg trails 15-3 to 48. Jet Black marking Griffin line. And Jet now going to come out to foul. And Jet, the coach is saying, come on, come out and try and steal the ball if you're going to, as you get out there to try and foul him. If you get called for a foul while trying to steal it, then maybe you can get away with a steal instead of just automatically giving up the foul. Inbound from the near sideline, 6 fouls for against Roseburg, so not in the bonus yet for the Irish. 1:44 to go in this one. Sheldon just wearing off as much of the clock as possible. To the near side to Tucker. They're just playing keep away. Tucker driving, but he's cut off. Into the corner, McGarvey back out to the top. Line with it. And now they want a foul. They got to foul somebody. Prickle's got it. I think coach was yelling foul. And now a foul is called. Carson Ellis putting Dominic McGarvey on the floor. That got the Sheldon bench a little fired up. But just a regular foul against Carson, his third. With 1:21 to play in this contest. Dominic McGarvey will head to the free throw line. He's 1 of 2 from the line. It's a 2-possession game at the moment. 2 made free throws, and he can stretch it to a 3-possession game. He makes the first. The Roseburg Indians here on the score, brought to you by Mahalo Heating and Cooling, your best choice for the finest indoor comfort control. Call them at 672-6701. Second free throw goes for McGarvey, hits them both, 7-point game. 1:17 to go. Roseburg's got to score quick. To the near side for Seeley, looking for the backdoor cutter, not there. Ellis with it straight away, hands it off to Jet. Looking in the corner, back out to the top. 1:05 to go. Seeley back out to the top. Colin fighting for position underneath. Now handed off to Lake. Jet right side, going to launch a long 3. It's short. Fight for the rebound. And a foul called. Colin right in front, face guarding against McGarvey. Called for the foul. Will walk to the other side of the floor for the free throws. Jet had a deep 3 that just came up a bit short. And then underneath McGarvey, biggest guy on the floor, able to get the rebound. He had Seeley there fighting for it, and then Colin came in there to try and help, see if he could poke it away. Called for the foul. First one for McGarvey, no good. Rebound tipped up by Herbert, and Sheldon will keep it. 47 seconds to go. Roseburg trying to foul, and now they will. Jet will get his hands in there, commits the foul. It'll send Sheldon back to the line with 43.5 seconds to go. Jet picks up his third foul in the ball game, and going to the line is Griffin Line, who hit 2 free throws back in the third period. First one dances on the rim before it takes its trip through the net. 6-point game, or excuse me, 56-48, 8-point game. Make it 9 as Line hits them both. 57-48, 41 seconds to go. Tough comeback for Roseburg if they're going to do it. Deep 3 by Warmouth, and he hits it. And he had a defender hitting him on the hand as he did it, but no whistle. But the 3 keeps it a possibility with 34.3 seconds to go. It's 57-51. Let's take a quick 30-second break and come back with more of the fourth quarter here on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
.3 seconds to go in the ball game. Roseburg on a deep three by Colin Warmoth, his fifth of the night. Gets Roseburg back within striking distance, down by 6. With half a minute left on the clock. Can they pull off a miracle on the road? Tonight's game is brought to you by Fisher's Hearth and Home, serving Douglas County for over 30 years with the largest selection of wood, gas, pellet, and electric stoves and fireplaces in the area. They bring in Matt Parker into the game here, probably to eat up some fouls quite possibly. So is D'Angelo Adams. And I believe it's Adams that commits the foul, his first. And they will bring back in Jet Black and Carson Ellis into the game. At the free throw line is Griffin Line to shoot an automatic 2 as Sheldon now into the double bonus. First one for Line is good. 5 of 5 from the line. 7-point game. Matt Parker takes a seat. Carson Ellis comes in. So does Jet Black. So Matt Parker getting his first action since possibly the Ashland game early on. Griffin Line hits them both. 8-point game. Colin Warmoth brings it up the floor quickly. 26 seconds to go. Right side. Had it poked away from him. Out of bounds on the far sideline. Stays with Roseburg. 24 seconds to play. Jet into the corner for Ellis. Dribbles out to the top. Colin with it. Right side. Step back 3. It's long. Seeley fights for it. Ball is loose. Ellis comes up with it. It's out to Jet. Jet's going to try a deep 3. He got it! Jet Black hits his first 3 of the night. This one from way downtown. And it's a 5-point game with 9.3 to go. It looks a bit improbable, but Roseburg still staying with it. They call it timeout. We'll keep it right here. 5-point game with 9.3 to go. Roseburg doing everything they can to stay in this one, giving Sheldon a fight here tonight. Roseburg trying to see if they can hang on to second place in the Southwest Conference. Sheldon trying to take it over. They're tied at the moment in the conference standings. But if the score holds, Sheldon will move into second place. Roseburg will drop into third and could quite possibly end up in a tie with either South Eugene or Grants Pass for third place in the conference standings. Could end up tied with both South Eugene and Grants Pass, depending on how things work out tonight around the Southwest Conference. 9.3 seconds to go in the ballgame. 59-54. Roseburg needs a stop. You've got both Jacob and Matt Parker into the game for Roseburg. A couple of guys that can shoot pretty well. And a foul before the clock even starts. They call that one on Jacob Parker. And we'll walk to the other end of the floor. Jacob Parker will pick up his first. Double bonus, so an automatic 2 free throws coming up for Griffin Line, who is 6 for 6 from this free throw stripe tonight. The first one is good. 6-point game, one more, and you got to feel like this one's pretty much sealed up for Sheldon, but Roseburg has made them work for it all the way down to the end. It's a 6-point game right now, but a 7-point game seems a bit too much. And Griffin will make it a 7-point game. 61-54. Warmoth into the corner. Jet a 3 as Rainbow shot misses everything. Back out to Marhowie Lake. Shot at the buzzer, not going to count. And the final score is going to be 61-54. Caden Seeley hit a 3 at the buzzer, but it was just after, and it will not count. Final score, 61-54. Sheldon defeats the Roseburg Indians tonight. We'll tell you all about it when we come back with your Roseburg Disposal postgame show on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
We welcome you back here to Sheldon High School in Eugene, Oregon, as the Roseburg Indians tonight on the road in Southwest Conference play come up a little bit short against the Sheldon Irish, and Sheldon will take over sole possession of second place in the Southwest Conference. Roseburg will fall to third. Joey Keyran here with you. We welcome you into the Roseburg Disposal postgame show. Let them make the run to the dump for you. Call Roseburg Disposal at 673-7122. Well, Roseburg took a 6-0 lead in the first quarter for their largest lead of the night, and really their only lead of the night. And then Sheldon came back, made it a back-and-forth first quarter. Roseburg led 11-10 at the end of the first quarter, and that would be the last time they would hold a lead. Sheldon came out, started the second quarter, back and forth a little bit. Then Sheldon goes on a 10-0 run to pull ahead 25-16 in the second period, and that would be a big enough lead for them to hang on down the stretch. Sheldon led 31-25 at halftime. In the third quarter, Roseburg fights their way back to a 4-point game, 47-43, as they outscore Sheldon 18-16 in the third. But in the fourth quarter, Sheldon just didn't miss at the free throw line, as Roseburg had to start fouling to try and keep the clock from ticking off. And Griffin Line does a nice job in the fourth quarter, as he goes 6 of 6 from the free throw line in the fourth quarter. Dominic McGarvey goes 3 of 5 from the line, and Sheldon ices the game at the free throw stripe down the stretch for a 61-54 victory. Big win for the Irish, who have now won 4 straight, all in conference play. Roseburg has lost 2 straight, and they will look to continue the Southwest Conference season in Eugene coming up next Tuesday night, as they look to try and get a win on the road against South Eugene and see if they can stay in the race for a top 3 finish and a spot in the state playoffs. We'll take a break and come back with individual scoring from the first half, some of your other stats, and we'll continue on with the Roseburg Disposal postgame show. Call them at 673-7122. We continue on with the postgame show after this on 1490 The Score.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Back here at Sheldon High School, where the Roseburg Indians fall tonight, 61-54. Your final score. We'll take a look at stats in a moment, but let's go ahead and pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Roseburg basketball on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score. Joey Keyran here with you. Josh Nelson joining me up here for video production and stats. Back in the studio, Brenton Cranford. Thanks again to all those guys for helping out with tonight's broadcast. As we look at it tonight, Roseburg falls 61-54. Let's take a look at the scoring for the visiting team here tonight. Colin Warmoth gets 26 points. He scores 17 in the second half. And so 17 in the second half gets him to 26. And that will lead the Roseburg Indians, also leading scorer in the game there for Colin. 10 points for Carson Ellis tonight. Only scores 2 in the second half, though, but he finishes with 10. 9 points for Jet Black, who had a nice night tonight. 5 for Marhowie Lake. 3 for Caden Seeley. 1 for D'Angelo Adams, Xavier Avilés, and the Parker brothers all get into the game but do not score. Leading rebounder for Roseburg, Colin Warmoth with 6 rebounds tonight. Also, Xavier Avilés finishing with 6 rebounds. 2 for Jet Black, 4 for Caden Seeley, 2 for D'Angelo Adams, and 1 for Carson Ellis here this evening. Roseburg finishing with 10 turnovers in this ball game. Pretty good number for them there, but unfortunately not enough to get the win here tonight. On the other side for the Sheldon Irish, leading scorer, 13 points for Griffin Line, 10 points for Dominic McGarvey, 8 points for Ben Gittins, 7 for Patrick Herbert, 5 points for Jacob Frey, Aiden Wagers, 4 points for Dawson Prickle. He had 3 points for Cameron Owen, 4 points for Jackson Tucker, 2 points for Bryce Seghetti. And that is your scores tonight for the Sheldon Irish, who get a lot of scoring from a lot of different guys. Leading rebounder tonight, Patrick Herbert with 5 for Sheldon, 8 turnovers in the game. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll name our Abby's Legendary Pizza Legendary Player of the Game, and we'll take a look at a couple of scores from around the region and the Southwest Conference. Have it for you when we come back with more of Roseburg basketball on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
Wrapping things up here on the Roseburg Disposal postgame show. Let them make the run to the dump for you. Roseburg Disposal, 673-7122. Well, as we finish things out, it's time now to name our Abby's Legendary Pizza Legendary Player of the Game. Tonight, that honor goes to Colin Warmoth. Game high 26 points. Also, Roseburg's leading rebounder. We'll give it to him as he puts up 13 in the third quarter to keep Roseburg in it. Unfortunately, just not enough for Roseburg here tonight. But congratulations, Colin Warmoth, your legendary player of the game, brought to you by Abby's Legendary Pizza. Taking a look at some scores from around the region and the Southwest Conference. First for the Roseburg girls tonight. They fall at home against the Sheldon Irish, 70-30, your final score there. Some boys scores here tonight. Glendale falling to Pacific 48-19 in the 1A Skyline League. And out on the coast, Reedsport winning against Myrtle Point 70-59. In the JV game prior to our varsity game tonight, Sheldon won 56-35. In girls basketball this evening, some scores we have. North Douglas wins 57-17 against Yoncalla. Sutherland beat Douglas 36-22. And Brookings Harbor defeats South Umpqua tonight 53-35. And those are the scores we have in girls. And we've got some college scores for you here. Oregon softball, a final earlier today against Kansas, 14-5. Then they turned around and they won 12-2 against CSUN. Okay, so there we go. Also, women's basketball tonight. Number 3, Oregon. It's getting started now against Cal tonight. That one down in the Bay Area. And number 7, Oregon State taking on number 11, Stanford today. Stanford with the upset win, 61-44 against the Beavers down in California. So just a couple of scores to report and pass along to you all there. That's going to do it for us here from Sheldon High School. We'll be back in Eugene coming up next Tuesday night when the Roseburg Indians take on the they take on the South Eugene Axe coming up next Tuesday night. Tip-off at 6:45, pregame at 6:30. We'll have the action for you, as always, on the radio and online. I want to say thanks to the Sheldon Irish for hosting us here tonight. A busy night for the media, so we appreciate them making accommodations for us here this evening. Also want to say thanks to Josh Nelson for help with the radio production here, or the video production here at the gym and stat keeping tonight. Also say thanks to Brenton Cranford for the radio production back at the studio. Thanks to Athletic Director Russ Bolin, Head Coach Mike Parton, and the entire Roseburg boys basketball program for allowing us to bring you another season of Roseburg basketball here on The Score. And thanks to you, the fans, for tuning in for tonight's broadcast, because, of course, without you, I'm just a guy sitting here talking to myself. I'm Joey Kieran, folks. We will talk to you guys Tuesday night when Roseburg visits South Eugene for another Southwest Conference showdown. We'll have the action for you starting at 6:30 online at 541radio.com and on Douglas County's home for sports, CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score. All right, Brenton, I got to run real quick, man, so we'll talk to you later.